Hello, thank you for joining me today as I do some setup in my personal rings binder and just go through how I use it. So this one I'm currently in is a cloth binder. I got it on Etsy. It's this super cozy plaid cover, and I just switched into it a few weeks ago after being in another cover for a while. So what I'm actually doing today is switching out my cover pieces. So I've had this beautiful postcard that my sister sent to me from Paris in here, and it just makes me so happy. I just love the thought of Paris. I have not been yet. And then it has cats. We have 3 cats. One of them is a black cat. Luckily, not all of them, because the black cat is a bit, is a lot. We love her, but she's a lot. But yeah, I love this postcard. I really love using my personal rings binder as a place to kind of display art. I feel like so much of my life, especially as someone who works in more of a technical field, like so much of my life is more like dull. Dull might not be the right word. Like, I find my work interesting sometimes, but just like it's not colorful and artistic. And so I really just embrace the opportunity for beauty in this binder. And so I'm actually switching these out. What I have in the back is, this was a greeting card, like a holiday or kind of like winter greeting card. Or sorry, it was actually a get well soon card. So that's why it says take your time. And it was like a card to just, you know, for someone who might be ill, just kind of take their time in getting better. But I love using greeting cards as my covers, which is actually what I'm doing today, so maybe I'll just get to that. So I was at the grocery store earlier today and I picked up these 2 cards. So, oh my gosh, look at how beautiful. It's, just making sure I get it in the camera. This is from a local artist, and it's just this beautiful greenhouse full of beautiful, colorful flowers and like a sleeping dog and a chicken. It's just so cozy. It's actually a birthday card. It's so cute. But I love my planner as kind of just a outlet to consume art. Like, if I saw this at the grocery store and didn't have this planner, you know, even though I would think it was beautiful, it would just be really hard to purchase it, like not having a use for it. And of course, it's a birthday card, so I could get it for someone's birthday. I'm honestly just not good at doing that though. Like, at this age, I just don't. Maybe I should. Maybe I should actually do that more. The other thing is though, I actually like painting or like creating my own birthday cards, like making someone a little watercolor painting and like having that be really special that I spent that time to do it for them. So yeah, I just don't really buy cards, like greeting cards, but now I feel like with my planner, I have like an excuse or like a use for them. And like, I'm literally gonna look at this every day. These cards were $5 each, but I feel like it's so worth it. And then, so this is a spring card. It's like mid-March, so we're just like a couple weeks away from the official start of spring. The weather had actually gotten so nice here, where like a couple weeks ago, where I was like, oh, like spring seems to be coming early, almost in a concerning way, like a climate change way. But then like this week has been disgusting and cold and rainy, and it's gonna be like that for the next week. So I was almost like, should I not do this yet because this is not what the weather is. Like, should I wait till the weather is better so that this can match? But then I was like, no, like this is an anticipation for spring, maybe to manifest spring. And you know, I just want to do it now because it would make me happy. So yeah, this one's for the front. I'll have to save this envelope or something. I actually might just slide it in here. I've got to be careful because I would just use this to store everything because I love this and carry it around, and I'm just like, I'll just put everything in here so that I have access to it at all times. But of course, I don't want it to be overflowing, so I've got to be careful. But yeah, this is the other one I got, and it's for the back, and it's these like little raccoons resting on tree branches. It says relax, unwind, and enjoy the happiest of birthdays. So also a birthday card. I love this. It reminds me of a children's book, so it just like takes me back to this age of like wonder and like happiness. And what's actually really cool is we do have a tree in our backyard, and I do think raccoons live up there. Like in the summer, sometimes you can go under that tree and look up and see raccoons. So this is like our backyard, and so I love that. And so that's gonna go in the back. So yeah, let's do that first, and then I will go through my planner. So I don't think I need to cut this. This is actually the right size. Like if I wanted to, I could cut it down a little bit so it's the same size as like the personal rings paper. But because I have like this dashboard thing, like it's the same size as this, so that should actually just be fine. But I am wondering if I might like the way it looks if I cut it down to size. I'm actually kind of leaning towards that, just so this feels like a personal rings cover. I don't know, I'm leaning towards it. I want to try it, so I'm gonna cut it. All right, so I've got to find my cutter actually. Well, let me quickly do the measurement. Just gonna grab this little handy bookmark, which is a ruler, which is actually so handy because I end up using this ruler so often. But yeah, it's about centimeters, it's about 9.5. In inches, it's about 3.25. So I'm gonna cut this to 9.5 centimeters. So let me just mark that. I just think the narrow might look nice. I think this was actually cut down to the narrow size. Yeah, it was. Well, actually, now that I'm looking at that, do I prefer... And as I'm looking at this, I think I actually might prefer the wider size because, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna do the wider. I'm not gonna cut it. All right. Thank you for bearing with my contemplation. Let me know what you think of this video. Like, does anyone care to just see me think out loud like this? I don't know. I kind of just like the idea of a slow live video. Just go along the margins. Oh, it's so pretty. So in love. All right, and then I just need to punch the holes. So, yeah, it's obviously not quite as tall. A lot of greeting cards tend to be this size. I could look for bigger greeting cards, but these were just so pretty. I wanted these, but that's a little bit of a challenge because I don't want to you know, punch the hole too close to the edge, which is kind of a risk here. So what I think I'm actually gonna do is just maybe skip this ring, punch it a little bit higher or lower, probably higher. And so it'll just sit a little bit high, which I actually like. I like things looking kind of asymmetrical and scrappy. I just think that makes it look very like lived in. So this hole punch, it was recommended by someone on a YouTube video I watched. I do have smaller binders with 11mm rings, and so this is really good for that because these holes are, I believe, like 4mm. Yeah, where the default I think is like 6mm. So especially in, so this is my personal rings like calendar. So especially in smaller notebooks like this, it helps to have the small holes, because if the holes are too big, the paper in the tiny rings just gets like very wobbly. So yeah, but most hole punchers are bigger holes than this. So like I do recommend specifically the 4mm holes, and it works well even in the bigger rings. I just feel like it keeps things tighter. Like you can see some of the pre-purchased paper I have, the holes are bigger, which is fine. I mean, for the personal rings of this size, it works, but I do have binders with smaller rings, and I do switch back and forth between them. So I will just do the smaller holes. Well, I mean, this is the only hole punch I have, but I do like the smaller holes. So if I lined it up with the personal rings mark, which is here, then this is gonna sit pretty high. I don't want it to sit quite all the way up, so I'm gonna like just shift it like a little bit down. So it's a little bit lower, but should still, yeah, should still give me like enough space to punch holes without being too close to the edge. So I'm just gonna go for it, not overthink it. There we go. And then I move it up to line this bottom hole. It actually took me a while to figure out how this works, like how I line it up. So with personal, I basically line up that bottom hole with that hole there. And then, yeah, and then I punch again. And so I got my 2 holes. So I'm gonna take this one out and store it. I have a box where I store these. I actually had this postcard like taped to my wall, and I like went back and forth whether I wanted to punch holes in it to put it in my binder. I think I actually might tape it back to my wall. It's okay that it has holes, because you can, like, I don't know, I just think this is so pretty. I might just tape it back to my wall so I can just look at it all the time. So maybe it won't go away to storage. But then, so I could put this behind the clear cover. It kind of depends on the look you're going for. Oh my, I'm so full. How was I was in like 11mm rings before this, and now I'm just like wondering how, because like I don't even seem to fit into whatever diameter these are. So yeah, there's the option of putting it behind this kind of frosted plastic, which I kind of like. I mean, it protects it. But do I prefer, the thing is, it just kind of takes away its vibrancy. So like, I'm like, do I want to open this and have just a vibrant picture right there? Or do I want to just have it protected? I think for the moment, for the present moment, I'm going to leave it behind the cover. But if I did end up, I think I originally had this one behind the cover too, and I ended up taking it out just so I could see it. You know what? Actually, considering the lessons learned from that one, I'm gonna put this out, because I know I can open it and then flip this over and I'll see it, but like like little things like that I found matter. Like if it takes an extra second to flip over that clear cover, it makes a difference. Like I want it, like the moment I open this, I pinched my thumb. Oh my gosh. But yeah, the moment I open this, I want to see this. So I'm not putting it behind the cover. Oh gosh, it is so pretty. Now I'm so ready for spring. Oh my gosh. Ah, I'm so happy. I love it. All right, and then I'm gonna do the back. So this one I probably will store away. This was just such a great winter piece because it's just like cozy, and I just love the thought of in the depth of winter you can just rest and take your time. Like, not the whole year is supposed to be like time to hustle. So I think this was just so perfect for winter. Definitely storing this with my other personal ring stuff, and we'll definitely bring it back when the winter season comes. But for now, I am ready for spring, so I'm going to spring into that. Also, by the way, the like back of this is so cute. I'm definitely going to use this in like journaling or something. So just keeping this, just going to keep this probably in one of these pockets and use it in my journal or something. Well, let me just cut that one. This one I actually might keep behind the frosted glass. I actually kind of like that for the back because it's not like I flip open to it anyway, and then kind of feels like more complete behind it here. If that makes any sense, that it feels more complete. Like, maybe you get me. Okay, so then I'm punching the holes on this side, and so what I actually do is I flip it over this way, and then I'm gonna do something similar. Actually, let me just take a look. I feel like I could have gone a little bit lower here. So I'm gonna just go a little bit lower here. Or no, actually, yeah, a little bit. Well, no, if I go that way, the holes are higher. Yeah, so I wanna go lower, right? Why am I like, okay, yeah, I think I'll just go a little bit lower. Okay, something like that. And then punch. I used to like, again, it took me so long to figure out how this works that like I used to like practice on a paper before I punched because I kept like screwing it up. Oh, it looks like I'm actually gonna hit that bottom hole this time. Huh, well that actually fits. That actually fits better than I thought. Oh no. Oh no, guys, I just screwed up on camera. Oh, I can't believe I did that. Alrighty, I was talking and not paying attention. This was supposed to slide up here, no wonder. I was surprised it was fitting. Wait, what am I doing here? I'm so confused. This guy. Oh, yeah. As I was saying, it took me so long to figure out. I did it wrong. It is so confusing. All right, now I've got extra holes, but I think we can live with that. There we go. Yeah, I got the. I swear it's confusing on how things are laid out. It's great because it can do like personal and pocket and everything, but you just got to know what you're doing. And I do know what I'm doing, but I distracted myself talking and then screwed up. So actually here, this is making me want to trim it now that it's behind here. But I'm actually not going to because like I said, I kind of like the asymmetrical scrappy look. So it's kind of scrappy that that's sticking out. Okay, well, okay, that was the main thing I wanted to do, just switch those out, and I'm so happy with it already. This is why I love ring planners. I just love how you can customize them however, and then you just switch a couple things out and it changes the whole feel. I'm so happy with it and so ready for spring. All right, now I'll just quickly go through what's in here, how I use this. So I'll just note, I do have this pocket rings, which is like my calendar. So for like actual appointments and dates for like long term, like this is July, I put them in here. So this is not like a calendar, but it's kind of like a notebook / organizer for everything else. I'm not gonna go in super detail, at least I don't plan to, but just wanna give like a brief overview. Have mailing label, an extra mailing label I had in here. I guess I should also stick this envelope in here. I don't know what I would use it for, but sticking it here for now. It like perfectly matches the color. You can't even tell it's there. All right, so I've got a zipper pocket with some stickers and notes. This is actually from one of my other binders, which is like this vintage binder from this company called Lifax. You can look it up. This company preceded Filofax. I could talk about that whole binder, but it came with inserts, and so I have actually the whole like pile of inserts, and I've stuck some of them in here just because it gives it a totally vintage look, and it has like the name of who it belonged to, and like I love this. It's like in case this is found, like it gives instructions on how to mail it. It says like give the name and address of sender on outside of package, so that like so that the owner can pay the additional postage. Like I just love this instruction. It's like so of another time on how to return like a lost item. Okay, and then I do have some monthly calendars in here because because for my pocket rings I actually only have weeklies, and then I just had these monthly inserts, so it's kind of a secondary calendar with a monthly view. But in the future I could actually get the pocket rings monthly and then keep that in my pocket rings, and then only keep like a couple months worth of weeks at a time. Okay, I don't need to go into all that, but yeah, I don't plan to keep this, but for now I have months. Period tracker. Period should be starting soon in case you were interested. Then, okay, I love using these garden markers as bookmarks. I have a few more that I want to make. I did have to cut this one because in my other like smaller rings binder, this was like hitting the actual binder. But yeah, for this binder, I could actually leave that. But these are just the best bookmarks because they're like skinny, they're super sturdy. If you guarded, it's just so cool to have like actual things you guarded as mementos in your planner. I'm obsessed with this. It's one of my favorite things about my ring planner. So I just wanted to point that out. But yeah, I've got some notes. This is notes on recycling. And then I've got some notes about different things I'm learning about, like online courses I'm taking. This is kind of a little catch-all for me, so I do have like other notebooks I'll take notes in, but sometimes this is a notebook I have on hand or I just feel like using it, so I'll just take notes in here. And then this section, I'll show you this. I have this clip in here because I clipped in this to-do list here. By the way, I love this clip. But yeah, I have like my to-do list on my notes, but then another longer term to-do list which I clipped in. So I just love the look of like a clipped in page, but I'll take it out for now so that I can flip through. Yeah, so I put in these little pages from the old binder as like little dividers. So they're kind of like old mathematics tables. And then here, this section is kind of to-do list. So I am going to Japan in a couple months, and so like here's a list of stationery stores I want to hit, but then I have like movies to watch and just like other things to do. So it's just kind of a section of to keep track of things I need to do or to plan or whatever. And then this section, also love this bookmark because it's from when I took the train, and then it has a little string on it, so like it sticks out and is easy to find. This section is just like my creative section. I have some sketches, I have some, like this was a poem I wrote. I do kind of clear this out occasionally, and like if I really like something, I'll paste it into my sketchbook or my journal. So I did actually clear this, like I went through this whole binder the other day, so it's somewhat recently cleared out. But creative section, this is like a vintage postcard I got, but this section is actually like kind of like my daily planner in a way, where I take notes and have to-do lists for the day, and a lot of it's work. Like I'll take work notes and make work to-do lists, but then like I'll also stick personal stuff in there so that like if I have to, you know, call the doctor in the middle of the workday, like that'll be in here because this is what I'm looking at during the day. It's what I'll use, or like that's how I'll remember it. So But yeah, I also like take work notes. Again, I have like a work notebook that I would also use for work notes, but sometimes this is what's handy. So this is just really a catch-all, and I really just love this book and I love using it and I love looking at it. So sometimes I'll just want to take my work notes in it. And like, for example, sometimes I have early morning calls and I won't come up to my office yet, but I'll be like down in my living room listening to the call. And I'm so bad, like if I'm not taking notes on the call, my mind will drift off and I won't pay attention. So I have to like write notes to make sure I'm paying attention. And I really like having this like if I have to have an early morning work week meeting where I don't have to be on camera, it just feels cozy to be in the living room taking my notes in here. This is also like a nice kind of like hard surface, but yeah, like I'll take meeting notes in here, kind of whatever notes. So that's what I have in here right now. And then I just have blank pages, some grid paper. This is a Sterling ink, like I think it's Tomoe River. It's like fountain pen, but it's nice and thin, which is great because like these thicker papers do really add up. I do have these Filofax budget papers, which I just cannot get myself to actually use. Like I want to just like write down all my spending for a month, but like I have a lot of spending and it's like, not that I'm like struggling financially, but I just want to like be aware of my spending. But like, oh my gosh, it is so much to write down everything you spend, but that is something I want to start doing. So that's an aspiration I have. And then just some more random things, some notes, some stickers, some more stickers, some like bookmarks. And yeah, that's, oh my gosh, I love this so much. I love it so much. This is a little paper crane that like my husband had some workshop at work one time, where they made like paper cranes, and he gave this to me, and I actually just found it recently and I just thought it'd be so cute to have in here. I love it in here. This is a random, I was at the Oakland airport and they have this machine there where you can just like print a story, like it's free, and you say you either want like a 1 minute story, a 5 minute story, or something like that. I think I chose like 5 minute story, but this was actually a while ago and I have yet to read it. I really need to read this story, but I've like stuck it in here to read. So this makes me very happy, but it's also crazy I haven't read it yet. And then I just have more stickers. So yeah, I guess the other thing I didn't mention was like, I really just use this for like anything. For example, like here I have a meal plan. I was using like a separate fitness planner for meal planning, but then I realized it was really annoying to have to like open that one. So like I really want this to become my everything book. So like here's a meal plan. So in addition to like work notes and things like that, I just have whatever planning I need, and I'm going to continue to let that take shape. And if you're interested in how that goes, please let me know and I'll make like another video in a few months. But yeah, that is it. I love looking at the top and seeing like all the different bookmarks. Like it just makes me so happy to know there's like different sections in there. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. See you next time.